That's what his job is. It's not there to police populations. That's what policemen are for. They police populations. The military's not good at that. Never has been. But if you're asking me if we're appealing to force doctrine, oh yeah, we could have crushed Vietnam like it was nothing. MacArthur could have invaded China and crushed them too if he had wanted to. The thing is like ultimately it's always coming back down to the idea of force and who has the monopoly on it. And I've never seen any historic evidence ever that women have ever had the monopoly on it, nor ever successfully fought for any sort of independence or freedom where they don't have to appeal to men. But I've always seen men do it where they never had to appeal to women. And so the historic standards on my side, the strength of force, and half of the conditions of half of the world right now is on my side for my argument. What you guys have is vibes and maybe one day. Vibes, and one day, though, Andrew, one day, we'll be able to overthrow that evil patriarchy with fucking robots and shit like that. And it's like, I don't think so. I don't think so. But that's just me.
I think in regards to like maintaining authority, you need the strength to seize the authority, and then you need the wherewithal to maintain the authority. Agreed. And that's more of the feminine energy of the leadership. You need wisdom. You need to see your own flaws. You need to admit when you're wrong. Like that's how you. But you do need strength to take it and to protect it.
And to keep it.
But what's on the inside is where the women become very important.
Well, this is not what's in dispute here. What's in dispute here is not whether or not you can craft societies in which men grant women rights. Because I would argue that obviously we can see societies right this second. We live in one where men grant women rights.
God, I don't want to interrupt you, but God grants the rights in our society.
Oh, yeah, does he?
Well, that's what the Constitution says.
Well, the Constitution operates on an axiom that all men are created equal under God, right? This is axiomatic. I'm not saying I don't think it's grounded, and I don't think it's well philosophically grounded. While I, as a Christian, would argue that there's some positive rights, or at least could argue that there's positive rights. From her view, there isn't rights at all. From your view, rights are a social construct, aren't they?
I mean, rights are whoever is able to enforce them.
That's right. So it's a social construct.
But I don't even really dispute with you about the force thing. Like, you know, who determines a right? Is that by divine right, by God or whatever? But like, as far as like the practical reality of like who can enforce their rights, that really comes down to force.
I just want to make sure we get this clear. Is a right a social construction from your view? We make it up. And then we have guns and say, do it or else. Or these people are allowed to do it or else. There's
something about my answer intuitively that wants to say, no, I don't believe it's just like a social thing or a social phenomenon or construct. I don't know, not divine command theory though. So I'm not sure.
So you can't ground it in anything, can you?